Good morning, YouTube. Welcome back to another Saturday morning stream. If you didn't notice, I wasn't here last week. Sorry about that. I intended to have something, but it didn't pan out. Uh, you just had to endure for a week without me. But anyway, I'm back, and we're back with some more Kerbal. We are ready to go on the stream career. Loaded up. And while I was preparing that potential media that I did not put up last week, I did get in on my save a little bit and did a few things. So what was those things? Oh, I completed a couple of missions that were I think they were just scan missions. So yeah, now we're down to like 2 active missions, and one of them is for uh, this high resolution altimetry of the Mun, and we sent a satellite to the Mun that should have been able to deal with that. Now let's get in the tracking station real quick here. Let's go look at what's going on here. So yeah, there was a whole bunch of scanning missions for the Mun that were on there last week, or sorry, not last week, but the last time we streamed. So let's go look at why they're not there now, because most of them are actually gone. That's Mimnus. I want to go to the Mun. Where's the Mun? There it is. And look at this satellite right here. The Super Scan satellite. We'll go ahead and fly it. Now, you might notice, though, the Super Scan satellite's in a very eccentric orbit, we'll call it. But let's fly it. And I'll show you why it's in an eccentric orbit now. So, one of the things I was that I did when I was off. Actually, are we getting a little sunlight right now? We are. Ah, look at that. So the Super Scan satellite here, this thing has a major issue. Is when this is extended, the scanner, it totally blocks these solar panels from getting any sunlight, and then the thing can't recharge. Although it is charged right now, so that is awesome, but this is not currently scanning. But this thing, the high resolution altimetry scanner, requires a much higher altitude than most of the other scanning operations. It requires like 700,000 meters above, and most of the other stuff's like 80, so pretty big difference, around 80 to 100. So pretty big difference there. I was in the process of changing this thing's orbit when it ran out of power, because let's see if we start to scan. I'm going to start to scan. You'll see what the problem is here. When that's extended right, and the satellite's in the position that it's in right now, I am not getting any power. You see the power is going down right now, so I need to readjust here somehow so that solar panels will be able to see the sun, and that'll prevent that. As long as whenever we leave it or go to a warp or whatever, those are facing the sun like that, we should be okay. Now we need to go to we need to go around again, because I want to get to right before the apoapse so I can adjust this orbit, and then maybe we can finish the scan. That'd be nice. All right, so now that I've adjusted the position of the satellite so that it won't lose power, we can go to warp, and it'll be just fine, right? Just fine. And now I can make my maneuver prograde, and hopefully I can do that without even having to worry about adjusting the rotation of the thing. So we're good. And then let's switch over to this so we can see our power ups. What we're adjusting here, and it's going to adjust pretty fast with just a little bit of thrust here. Yeah, let's get it up to around 700 as well. There we go, 700 and 730 ish. that should be ideal for this scanner to do its thing. And that should also mean that we are now making progress. There it is. There it is. Look at that. We now have 2% altimetry scan of the Mun. There was something I don't remember. I don't remember if this thing required the surface to be lit. I think some of the instruments, the scanning instruments, require the surface to actually have sunlight. Probably the visual ones, I would imagine. Specifically, at least. There we go. That's the one I was trying to open, and then I want to switch this to. There's the Mun. Okay, we are looking at the Mun. Okay, we're good. And yeah, there you go. We can see that we're starting to get some altimetry, high resolution altimetry data. Yay. Okay, cool. Okay, that means that I don't have to actually fix this right away. I was worried that I was gonna need to launch a new satellite for this, but it looks like maybe we don't. Although, let's go back to the Space Center. So the primary thing today is to clean up space, get rid of as much of the space junk as possible. And I have a couple missions for that. And I set these up. I kind of pre-built all of the launches for today. So we don't have to worry about sitting through me building some vehicle today. Although, maybe you guys like to watch me build the vehicles. Maybe that's the better part. I don't know. You tell me. Leave me a comment, because I'm expecting that's probably going to play more into the people that are watching it after the fact, not watching the stream. I'm thinking. Anyway, let's get to doing something. What was I doing? We need to get back into the mission control for one. Now that this one is being done, we need to actually look at new missions. Yes. What new missions can we get? We get science data from the surface of the moon. I don't think I have anything on the surface to easily transmit that data, so I'm not gonna order that. What I want to do is I want to get more rescues, because we do not have enough science Kerbals. We do not really have enough pilot Kerbals. We have plenty of engineer Kerbals, and I don't want to actually fork out the money, because that's the other secondary, or maybe really the prime objective today, is to make some moolahs, make some credits, some roots, or whatever it is they call their currency in Kerbal. We need a lot of it. In fact, we need like 3 million plus just for the science upgrade on the building, and that is because of the settings we're playing under. It's a little higher than what you would play under a regular game, I guess. Yeah. Anyway, recover Hans craft from orbit of Mimnus. Oh yeah, we can definitely do that. Oh, Mimnus. Yeah, we'll take it. And that is because one of the other missions that we currently have is explore Mimnus, where we have to rendezvous 2 vehicles and dock 2 vessels around Mimnus, which is actually perfect. We now we can go recover Hadzon's craft from Mimnus. We can throw a docking port on that, and then we can achieve both of these missions in one launch. I don't want to leave the facility yet. Here, we gotta get some more though. We could rescue Morloff from orbit of the Mun. Ooh, orbit of the Mun. I don't know. I was thinking more like, can we get some guys that are just orbiting Kerbin? I would prefer more guys just orbiting Kerbin. No? Science data from the Mun. What's this one down here? Map 8. Okay, no. Do a group of ScanSat surveys on Eve. Oh, hey, guys. You remember that satellite we launched to Eve? Several streams ago? I think it was actually like 3 streams ago at least. Anyway, we got a satellite in orbit of Eve. And it happens to have some scan stuff on it, and low resolution, visual scan, and resource scan. I do believe that we could do those. So maybe I should go ahead and take that mission. Now, we don't have anything around Gilly, so that's not going to do. Wait. That was Eve, right? available. And that wasn't like something, I didn't take the wrong thing. Group of scan sets of Eve, yes. Because here's another one that says Eve. What's this one? High resolution altimetry, resource scan, visual scan. Oh, 95%. Okay, well, I mean, again, we got a satellite around Eve. Let's take that. And then we want to get some more scans. We want to get as many scans going as we possibly can do. But I think we've got Kerbin, Mimnus, Kerbin. We got more for Kerbin than we do for Mimnus. I'm thinking that now would be a great time to do. Go ahead and take the ones for Kerbin. Kerbin. Oh, it's not going to let me take anymore. Is that because I'm at my max? It is because I am at my max. Now, I could just go ahead and complete those missions to get access to some more missions. Which is, you know. But, hey, good morning. They're not glad to see you made it. I was just getting some more missions ready to go here. Today we're going to be crashing, making lots of booms as we clean up space. But I am trying to get some scan missions going so that while we are flying our little probes around, removing the garbage out of space, those other missions could be going on in the background, because really the secondary and maybe more important objective for today is to get more monies, because we want to upgrade our research and development so we can get into that final bit of science and stuff like that, and finish get it to the science point where we can do the mining and then resource conversion into fuel, so that we can make our Indigo Voyage a self-sustaining vessel that will be able to go all around the solar system eventually and get all of the science from all of the I'd like to have it eventually visit every planet system. I'm not going to say that I want to have it land on every planet. That's not going to happen. It's not designed that well, but it could orbit every planet and get around the solar system and then eventually return to Mimnus. So I think that's going to be the long-term goal of the rest of this series is that. But to do that, we need to get more science. And to get more science, we need to upgrade our research and development building here. And I don't know if you can see it in the tiny center of the screen. It's 3.38 million to do that. And we've only got 1.5 million right now. So we got a long way to go for that. Plus, we've got all the other expenses of upgrading some of these other buildings that are still going to need to happen. So we need lots and lots of moolah. So let's do that. We got all the missions that we can get. So real quick, since we just grabbed those two Mimnus missions, I am going to go, or not Mimnus, Eve. Eve scanning things. Where is Eve? There's the we're still looking to just Kerbin. There we go. It's way out here. There we go. Eve. We are barely maintaining connection with that satellite too, so I've got to be careful. We're gonna fly that. Now I think it's got a real crazy orbit. I never really fixed its orbit, which is fine, I guess. What scans do we need to get? Let's see here. Scan side of Eve. Low res, the visual scan, and resource scan. That's all. High resolution altimetry scan of the moon. Okay, no, that's not here. And there's the other one. High resolution altimetry scan. Ooh, shoot. I got to do a high res altimetry on Eve as well. So perhaps that eccentric orbit is okay. It needs to be much less eccentric than that. How are we doing as far as like... Oh, I see what's going on here. Trying to think. I don't. That's going to be a little bit bad for our satellite. I really want to bring it. You know, I really want to like do something like, not that. I want to go the other way. I want to go the other way. Something like this. You know, but it needs to be radial and back this way. A lot more this way. This way. like a crazy maneuver like this to kind of get it more on the what is the word for the where the sun and shoot, what's that word? Dang it! Well, maybe on the horizon line, I guess. Yeah, maybe the horizon line is what I'm looking for. No, that's not what trying to say. I can't think of the word. Words escaping this morning. Sorry, guys. Um, but you know, there's equatorial, there's polar, but then there's probably like a word for when you're like orbiting right over the sunrise sunset area of the. You know what I'm trying to say? Maybe somebody does. Anyway, which way was we going here? Yeah, that's more of the orbit that I want to achieve there. Yeah, that would probably get me on a good solar orbit with the program. And then we'd still need to reduce that orbit way down before we're ready, but we've got a lot of fuel in this final stage, and we've got okay communication. Signal strength is only 38%, but as long as we do this now, we should be okay. I don't think there's going to be anything in line of sight that's going to be a problem, but all right. So anyway, let's go. Oh, 1,000 something. I only got 700 something in this. Ooh. Well, if I don't want to leave garbage, then I really need to kill that. If I don't want to leave garbage, then I really need to do this. Bring my periaps down into Kerbin, but now I wouldn't be able to make any of those other changes that I wanted to do right now, could I? No, because I'm in the wrong position for that. Maybe. I'm just starting to think here. Now, let's see if I did any of this. Would that help? I don't know. Does that look like it's more on the solar plane? Doesn't really. It's just not. It's not in the right place to make the orbital change. Maybe radial in though. Oh yeah, there we go. And then some of this. Almost. I've got a lot of delta V to burn up. 775. But I want to leave it falling into the atmosphere at the end. Maybe a little less of this. I got it all messed up now. Sort of what I want. I don't know if that's going to be better overall. I need to be in a polar orbit though at the end, so that's really not going to work. What I should probably just do is go to the Apple apps and just not worry about that extra bit of fuel, I guess. Bring the periaps down to there. A little lower because we want to go ahead and just knock that. Man, that seems like a waste to waste that extra. What is it? It's like 500 delta V's that I'd be dropping onto the into the Eve atmosphere if I do this maneuver. trying to think how I can get closer to the orbit that I want while dropping the stage and not wasting any of the power. That's the thing. So, so if we look, what I really want to do is, so the sun's that way, so right about there, or right about here, because that looks like it's actually further away from the planet at the time of the maneuver. Should be a more efficient maneuver. I don't know, maybe. But we want to drop this way down to there. Oh, this actually, this is maybe actually good. Maybe actually good indeed. Okay, so we bring that periapse. Ooh, okay. I see. I think I see a way through this to give me the result I want. And so that drops that down to 60. That should be in the atmosphere of Eve. And we just bring it just a hair lower, make sure I'm 100% sure that 59 is within the atmosphere of Eve. So that's 502. And then I can immediately add another maneuver here to use that last 200 in our current stage to rotate our orbit this way. One way or the other, it really doesn't matter. Actually, yeah, this way would be more efficient. But of course, we don't want it the thing to go back up. How can I tell how much maneuver this is going to cost? So it would be needing some of this too. Interesting. All right, well, I'm just going to kill that one for now. Because once we get this, I will be able to make some adjustments. I will just, let's do this one first. Okay, warp to maneuver. Yeah, there's no point in turning any of the scanning things on right now either on this because it's not low enough in orbit. Although, we could send a magnetometer reading back. That'd probably be okay. Run the magnetometer, because I don't remember doing that. Did we do that when we got here the first time? I don't know. Let's do it, though. I think we can transmit that back. We must have done it already. All right, never mind. Reset that. Yeah, it was worth a check. Okay, so let's, what is it, retrograde here? Ooh, this thing doesn't have very much SAS power. Guess there's no SAS on this big big part. It turns slow. I hope not having been here for a week is not causing people to not show up. I only missed 1 week, guys. Uh-oh. Passed the note already. This thing's shaky. This doesn't need to be all that precise, so there we go. That's good. And then now that we got that, oop, we do need to actually be down lower though. And let's see here. Bring our periapse down to a little under 60. There we go. And if we keep that there, add maneuver. Now that I can actually see how much delta V that I'm spending, we want to go this way a bit. It doesn't have to be all that much either, too. So what do I got? 271. Yeah, if I expend this rocket out the rest of the way, now you can see that that's raising my periaps. That's because this maneuver is not exactly what I'm going to do. What I'm going to do is I'm going to follow the. If I can get over to the. Oh yeah, this thing turns wickedly slow. What I want to do is follow the what you call it, the whatever this is. Anti-normal? No, that's normal. That's anti-normal. I think. I don't know which one's anti-normal. Is it the one? It's the one with the little things that point in, or is it the one with the triangle with the lines that point out? Anyway, one's normal, one's anti-normal, and we are going to follow the one with the little things that point in. I think that's normal. It's radial in, radial out, normal, anti-normal, and prograde, retrograde. I believe are the directions. Correct me if I'm wrong. I could be wrong. Orbital mechanics, you know? But I am not actually at the maneuver. I'm quite a bit away from that maneuver point. Oh, let's just warp to it. And I'll kind of freeze my movement. Then I am not actually worried about that maneuver. We're just going to use up the fuel and follow this. Oh, I see why. It's trying to. Okay. I had it on retrograde. I'm like, why is it fighting me so much? That's why. Oh, we're definitely not in orbit right now. That's fine. What I wanted to see was this. There we go. How much fuel we got left here? Okay, keep an eye on the periaps. Down to about. When I got 50 here. That's good. All right, I don't know if you could see it, but that's actually changed my orbit quite a bit more solar oriented because I want to be mostly solar oriented, not perfectly solar oriented, but it's a lot better than it was. And our periaps is a little too high right now, so we need to go retrograde. We've got 37 meters left in this stage, so we're going to go ahead and use that up to lower the orbit back down into a atmospheric interception. Although 79 might actually be an atmospheric interception, because I think the atmosphere goes up to 80. I believe it's a little bit. I'm pretty sure it's a little bit bigger, a little more than Kerbin, because it has a higher gravity than Kerbin. Anyway, we're gonna expend that last 37 meters to get it as low as possible, so that we know for sure that this this stage right here, when we release it, is gonna burn up. And then we still got this stage, so we still got plenty of maneuverability in this satellite. So I just didn't want to leave another piece of space junk in orbit, especially not in orbit of Eve, because that's even more difficult to remove than something that's just in low Kerbin orbit. Okay, so now we should just be able to burn out the last bit of that fuel. That's more than enough. That's way low. And then go ahead and stage. Oops. And then we're going to go prograde. And while going prograde, I'm going to do a little thrust there just so that these guys don't end up colliding here in a second when I do my primary maneuver, get back up into an actual orbit. So I want to take this up to 100K. We're not going to hit, right? No. What? Oh, no. What did I just do? How did this hit? Ah. The altimetry scanner's gone. Dang it. That was not an intentional explosion. Altimetry scanner's gone. That looks like the main casualty. Dang it. Well, all the rest of the instruments seem to be okay. Shucks. I thought for sure we were clearing it. Hey, Darkfire, you came just in time for the boom booms. The accidental boom booms. I still got to get my altitude higher here. Hang on. Well, now that that's gone, I don't need the higher altitude. Because that was the thing that required the 700-meter altitude. Everything else needs to be around 100 to 80, so we're going to go take it down to 100. Dang it. Oh, that's super annoying. Hopefully I will have communication with Kerbin from Periapps. It looks like I should. It shouldn't be a problem. Okay. Let's just... wait, what side am I on? I'm on this side. Okay, there we go. Warp here. We're gonna go retrograde when we get there. Ah, jeez. That sucks, because that was one of the scans we needed. That high altitude, yeah. Anyway, and it's a it's a group too. So high resolution altimetry. I'm gonna have to send another satellite eventually. Until then, that one's gonna just be sitting there clogging up our scan missions. Anyway, so that is what it is. What are you gonna do? Oh, let's bring our orbit down to the appropriate for begin the actual scanning. But yeah, like I said, at least we still have all of the other scanning things still there. Yeah, it only seemed to break the one antenna. Hey, this engine don't have much power, does it? No, it is just a. It's just one of the little ones. That's getting a little too low though. So let's just warp around again. Takes much less time now that we're actually at a lower orbit. See, we're moving pretty quick. Yeah, we want that down around 100, I think. Well, that's weird. We're going right over the pole. You can see how it's doing weird stuff. Come on. Keeps taking my periapps down too low. Now I'm gonna have to go to here. Actually, I just need to go prograde. By the time I spin around, we'll warp ahead a little bit. I need to get that periapps back up. That's in the atmosphere. That's no good. No good. Very bad. Not good. Let's go warp to about right there. I don't want to really, okay, I really don't want to raise this any, so let's actually warp to there. Right up to Apps there. That way we can wait for it to get on prograde. Bring it back up. There we go. Between 100 and 110. There we go. Perfect. Both of them are between those numbers now. That's what we wanted. Oh, it's so sad that that one antenna got blown us. Okay. Start the radar scan. Start all of these scans too. To do start the multispectral scan, and then what I want to do is rotate this so that it sees the sun better. Oop, other way, other way, other way. That way we're less likely to run out of power. Although I don't think we are going to have an issue with power. As soon as it gets up to about facing the sun, we'll do a little time warp. There we go. Alright, I started this one. I didn't. Why is it spinning again? Time warp. Oh, because that. There. Stay stable. There we go. Perfect. Perfect. Okay, and then I did start this one, yes? That one is started. Okay. I didn't start this one. Let's start the visual scan. Is there one more on here? There is one more on here. There it is. Resource scanner. Start that scan as well. That should do it. I think I've started all the scans that I can possibly start with this, since we lost the one of them though. There's a good chance we might have to send a new satellite. Actually, a 100% chance that we're going to have to send another satellite to Eve for that high resolution altimetry scan. I have a satellite that'd be good for that, but that's gonna have to probably wait for another day. We need to get back on track here with the primary mission of the day. All right, so now these should be started. Yeah, one of them starts at 0. One there. Okay, so that should all be started. We're good. Let's just head back to Space Center and hope that that goes okay. The other one we need to do is we need to get scanning our local bodies, and I've got a vessel for that. I got a vessel for that today. Because I was expecting. I don't know if you guys tuned in early. If you turned in early, if you noticed that we went out and checked on that super scanner around the Mun. And I had messed up and lost power on it, but then, due to loading, unloading, I don't know, circumstances, it managed to get some power again. I managed to reorient its position so that it wouldn't lose power again and turn the scan back on. So that's happening now. So we don't absolutely need another Mun scanner, but where's it at here? ScanSat Gen 3. Let's load it up. So this is one of the crafts that I made off stream, off camera, between last week and this week. These is 3 identical satellites loaded with the best scanning stuff that I have available to me at the time. All the best scanning stuff, including a vanilla telescope here, so we'll be able to do some of those missions too if we want with these. There's 3 of them. One for Mimnus, one for the Mun, and one for Kerbin. On a launch vessel that should be able to easily get them up into those proper orbits. So let's do this. Let's launch the ScanSat Gen 3. That's going to take care of all those Kerbin scans that we took on earlier as missions. And then, yeah, as soon as we get this into orbit, we'll then start the cleanup operation. I'll show you the vessel for that. So you just got to stick around for that. This shouldn't take too long, but it does have 3 different satellites. The main one that we really just need to get into orbit is the one around Kerbin, so we don't necessarily need to send those other two off to Memnus and the Moon right away. But let's SAS on. I think I forgot the staging. I did. I mean, I thoroughly thought this one through. Hopefully, hopefully. So it shouldn't require too much other than to just get up into orbit with this first stage, get the shell off, and launch the first satellite and get into a polar orbit. And it should be able to do that with a fuel on board. I'm not going to use this vessel to put that. Well, you'll see. Just follow along here as we launch. Actually, I haven't tested this in a launch. I just think I thoroughly thought it through. Hopefully, we'll see. And because it has such a large fairing and payload, wobbly bit of a payload, hopefully it's not too wobbly. I got a lot of struts in here. Or is this the one I got strutted up really good? Yeah, there's struts in there. A lot of struts in there. So hopefully it won't be too wobbly, but trying to do any kind of tipping early in this flight would probably be a mistake. But yeah, I can imagine it's just going to be best to let it go almost straight up. Until we've got something close to an orbital height for our apoaps. I don't know. I suppose I could probably start tipping in at 20K. I'm going to say I could probably start tipping at 20K. It's already tipping just a little bit by itself. The smallest amount. Kind of a little off center too. I don't want to make too many adjustments because it could just make it more unstable. And since it's going to have a really crazily adjusted orbit eventually anyway. Alright, do 20K, we can go prograde now. I'm thinking. And if I do some of this... Yeah, there we go. We got it back on equatorial there, I think. Oh, we're at 76. There we go. That's a good time to cut those engines and wait. Oh, we can probably do a little physics warp here. Get a closer to the... Ooh, it's a little wobbly there. Like that. A little wiggle in the middle there. Okay. We're almost out of the atmosphere. Throw that fairing away. Don't need that anymore. Oh, you know, I don't know if I did put those solar panels on a button, but I hope I did. Kind of hope I did. And honestly, if our apoaps goes up to 100K, that's fine. Because that's probably the altitude we want to have the satellite orbiting at anyway. The one that's going to eventually be in a polar orbit. That's pretty getting there. Better hold off for a second. Let it get a little closer to the peria or the apoaps. In fact, we can do a little. Oh, let's see if I remember if I put this on a button. No. 4, 5. No, I apparently did not add an option group for it. No, we're still not at our peria apoaps yet. Okay, not quite. Doing little time warps there to kind of kick us closer to it. I do want to leave this lower stage deorbiting because it should deorbit. Oof, that was not what I was expecting to happen. I don't know what the explosion was, but okay. That particular explosion was. And we're in orbit, so we switch back to this. Oh, it looks like the thruster just destroyed the decoupler that was on top there. That's fine. That is just fine. Okay, now we need to go retrograde, and we can just. Oop, that's not the button I want to do. We'll just warp this all the way up until it hits the atmosphere again, because this is going to come down. Hopefully, we're going to recover some of this because it's the expensive bits. But we'll see. We shall see. It does have a little control unit like inside here. There's my little control unit that I usually add to these recoverable stages, which does give it a little SAS power, a little bit of battery, some antennas so I can keep control of it, and a unit that can at least point retrograde. Now, you know what? It looks like our... Yeah. Looks like we're okay there. It looks like all of our... what am I trying to say? Parachutes. Parachutes have... Oof. Can I spin this thing at all? No, I have no control over it right now. No probe control. Boom, boom. Yeah, see, that's a problem. I get a little it gets a little overheated, come back in, and some of the engines go pop. Ah, that seems to be a reoccurring thing. Let's see, we lost 3 that time. And we'll still recover 3 and the big one in the middle. So that's good. I don't know if it's because of the physics warp. Like if I slowed down the physics warp and let this just happen at regular speed, maybe it would be able to bring that in safely. Hey, it looks like I actually got enough parachutes on it this time. We're going slow enough with the surface there that it shouldn't do any damage when it hits. Though it may tip over, depending on the terrain, which could cause damage. We'll see. We shall see. It is kind of a steep terrain there. Yeah. Can I recover it? Nope, it's gonna fall. Gotta fall over first. There we go. But it's a nice gentle fall, so recover vessel. There we go. We got some materials back. Yay. That is because we gotta do this. We gotta be extra frugal with our missions and get back as much as possible because of the thing we mentioned earlier. We're out for the money. We need the monies. Of course, having launched that vessel, oof, that's an expensive launch. Well, of course, it was 3 separate satellites, so it's. But anyway, there we go. We got almost 30K back, almost 30,000, 29,000. It's close, but that's good. That's money back in our pocket. All right, we need to go back to the satellites now that they're in orbit. Gen 3 satellites. Why that? It's interesting they're listed as relays. Well, anyway. Maybe I should actually... Ooh, I actually need to take this up to 700K. I just realized. Oh. Because if I release this satellite... If I use this to get up to 700K... Yeah, then, yeah, when I release that satellite, it would be better. Now, it would be best to do the burn like either right at the sunrise or sunset, I think. Let's see, that's my periapse is actually closer to the sunset. I add a maneuver here. If I just bring my Apple apps up to 700. Now I'm going to be up at 700 equatorial, but I want this Apple apps to be really close to the, there we go, to the sunset horizon line. That way, when I change the inclination on the satellite, using the satellite, I'll be using less power, and because I'll be able to do it at the Apple apps a little less. Anyway, hopefully we're good with all that. All right, let's look at these guys again. I think that should be fine. They have like a large amount of fuel, and a small engine, so it might take a little bit to get that inclination change, but I think that should be good. So what would it be? It would be retrograde probably right now. No, retrograde's right there. Prograde right now. No, our burn's only 3 minutes away. Okay. Ooh, good. This has a decent amount of SAS power. That's good. That is very good. So yeah, I can take this up to 700K for the orbit. And then that will use some of this as fuel instead of having to use any of the satellite fuel to get to that height before it does its inclination change to get polar. Because this has to be this. I want to keep this. I want to keep the first two equatorial with the transfer stage. I keep them equatorial because they have to go to the Mun and then on to Memnus. But we're not going to do that today. We're just going to get the one in polar orbit. We will leave this guy in an eccentric orbit, which will someday, or probably just next week, get it up to Memnus and the Mun to finish all the possible scans there. And this satellite is actually so good that we could easily send this on to other systems. Like if we took the third one off, we could send two, one for Eve and one for Gilly. And then we could also send one to Duna and Ike as a dual instead of a tri. If I took the third one off, there should be enough, and then extended the transfer stage. Should be perfect for that. Okay, is it time to burn? Almost. It's a 50-second burn. Let's time warp here till we get about to where we need to be. 50 seconds would be 25 seconds out from the maneuver when we initiate the burn. Being patient in this is my biggest problem. Oh, now. And I can just watch my Apple apps over here at this point. 300. 400. 500. Going for 700 here. 600. And a little more. Right around 700. There we go. And clear that maneuver. All right. So I should. Yeah, well, I don't think I need to worry too much about extending these solar panels at this point. But let's go ahead and we can now undock from that satellite. And this one, well, we can stage. Come on, stage. Activate engine. Oh, wasn't expecting that. Well, I blew up the docking port on the one behind it. Well, if I ever need to fix that, I don't even remember take it. Or if I ever need to dock that particular one, we'll need to remember to take a docking port. I have to remember that that happens. I didn't expect it to make that much heat that fast. Well, there's a little micro explosion there. Extend the solar panels. This is probably way overkill for the solar panels, but I designed this to work in deep space at the planets that should be like further away from Kerbin. You know, much further away from Kerbin. So yeah, as we go up to like Duna and what's the next one out? I forget. Drez. Well, no, Drez is out further yet. Then there's something in between there. The other one. Oh no, Drez is right there. Yeah, Drez is there. Duna, Drez, and then it's Jewel. Okay. So it should have enough solar power to work in Jewel. I don't know about Elo. It might not have enough solar power to work out there, but it should be able to work in Jewel, around Duna and Ike and Drez, hopefully, with the amount of solar panels on it. Those 6. Anyway, we need to get back down here and plan our maneuver. Okay, so we want to go, since we are in a polar, or we are in an equatorial orbit. It doesn't really matter which way we go. We gotta go one way or the other. So we will go this way, which is good because we actually have a normal anti-normal thing on this satellite. Just kill that now. Okay, so we're just gonna go, when we get to the apoapse, we're just gonna start firing normal until we get to a polar orbit. Okay, I don't want to switch. I didn't want to switch. Whatever. Which direction am I going? I am going this way. So we want to get right before the apoapse here. Warp there. And we're not having an issue with power. And we won't be anyway once this is done. Hey, look, there's the scan. Oh, that's the relay from before. Okay, now we're just going to burn. Oh, this is going to take a while. And many trips around, I think, because I want to be booing it at the apoapse. Okay. Yeah, I'm not going to get this all at once. Alright, I'm going to cut my engines. I'm going to go around, and then we're going to do it again. Whee! Oh, you know what I should do? Well, while I'm firing this, let's go ahead and start all the scans. Start all of the scans. Oh, hey, that's cool. Red telescope. Hey, let's transmit that back. Get a little science right there. Oh yeah, we got plenty of charge. And start the object track, because I think we need that for... Well, I don't know if I've got the mission for it, but we're going to do it. How are we doing here? Now I can... What is it? Alt... Yeah, there we go. Do a little physics warp here. Make this go a little bit faster. All right, I think it's time to cut the engines and go warp around again and start again. Warp to there. Uh-oh. We got our periaps down below the atmosphere. Woof, did not realize. Hopefully we're not too low into the atmosphere. This could be bad. Was not paying attention to that. Oh, this could be very bad. Let's find out. Because I can't retract that solar or nothing. And if it decays all the way, we're screwed. Let's try to go prograde here. Maybe it'll help a little bit with the aerodynamics. Oh, we're headed back up. Okay, we're okay. We're okay. We're good. Nothing burned off or anything with the scrape with the atmosphere. Very nice. Ooh. Wonder if I could do the magnometer there. Oh, as soon as I ended it back up in space, I could. Okay. Let's before we do any more. Wow, my Applapse is down to 400 now. Okay, first of all, prograde. Let's fix that. Get that back up to 700. I hope I have enough fuel in this to get it all the way polar. I should. My calculations were anywhere close to right. Or my guesses, I should say, and not really calculations. Let's be real. Let's keep it real. Alright, so I'm going to warp to there. I'm going to stay going prograde because I need to get that periaps back up to around 100. Sure, it's well out of the atmosphere again. There we go, back up to around 100. And then we were doing normal, right? Yes. Okay, just got to keep an eye on that periaps, make sure it don't go too low. Hey, we might actually get to a polar orbit this time. I think I started the burns soon enough. Or I mean, yeah, polar. That's what we're looking for. Similar to what that one is doing, Polar Sat 2, except it doesn't have enough scanning stuff to do all the missions. Yay, we're almost there. It's not going to be perfectly on the sunrise sunset line, or which is okay. It doesn't need to be perfect. It just needs to be close. Okay, it's dropping our periaps again. Getting down to about 90. Got to save a little bit of fuel to fix that periaps. Oof. Yeah, prograde. Boy, it spins fast now that we've got no fuel in it. Oop, that might be that might have been too much. 128. Hopefully not. Hopefully everything will be able to scan there now. my idea is, or my hope is that as it goes around in this elliptical orbit, this thing that requires it to be relatively high off of the relatively high in altitude, the 700,000, or yeah, 700,000, we'll be able to do it when it's on one side of its orbit, and then all of the other smaller things that need to be a little bit closer, we'll be able to scan when it's on its low side of the orbit, which its low side is actually a little too high right now. Retrograde. Bring that back down to 110-ish. There we go. Feel better about that. And then what I want to do is give it a direction to point so that it's, yeah, there we go. So that the solar panels are kind of facing the sun. Why is SAS so wobbly now? That is kind of strange why it just wants to wobble. But it should be fine. We're going to go away from it and let it. I think we're just going to let it do its thing now. I think we're just going to need to just let it do its thing. Hopefully. Yeah, hopefully that'll do its thing. And do all the scans. We'll find out. We will find out in a bit. Oh, actually, that's why it's wobbling. It's because I'm in physics warp. Ah, there it goes. Now it stopped. Because I was in physics warp. That's why. Okay, so communication mission accomplished. Okay, well, scan sat, not communication. It is a communication satellite too, by the way. But that's not its main purpose. Main purpose is scan. Let's get some junk. Back to the Space Center. Actually, we should check and see. While we're back to Space Center, we should check the progress of our mission, see if any have cleared. Because if we've cleared any, then we can grab new ones. I don't think we've cleared any. We've not cleared any. Okay. We can look at the levels in here. Yeah. 29% on that moon scan. That's good. We've started the Kerbal scan, one of the Kerbal scans. Resource scan's not going. Maybe that one I didn't activate. This Eve scan's going good. That's great. This Eve scan is not going good because we don't have the high resolution antenna on that freaking satellite anymore. Ugh, that makes me mad. That I'm gonna have to send another mission over there just to complete that one bit of the scanning mission. Ugh. And I didn't have no quick save or anything either. Although I don't think I would have reverted anyway because that was my own mistake. I could have easily swung wider. I thought I had space and I didn't. But we did want to see if there's any new good rescues. Not really. Science data from space around Minmus. That would be easy. We have a satellite in orbit of Minmus. That would have been a very easy one to complete if I had a space. Which is one of the reasons I was thinking about, maybe it would be a good idea to upgrade mission control so we could take more missions, but that's like 500,000. What was I about to do? Oh, we were about to deorbit stuff. So let's start thinking about getting some trash out of space. I mean, look at it. Look at the trash. And that's not even, well, there's 19 pieces of trash. And then the stuff that actually has the green lines to it, it's probably technically not even considered trash. Because that's like satellites and stuff. But we do need to get rid of a lot of that too. We do need to get rid of a lot of that. So, all right. Let's look. There's got to be some stuff. And I'm pretty sure that I did deorbit a couple of items that were in a decaying orbit. If we look at this, its periaps is very well in a decaying orbit. Hang on, what was that? Are we still flying that? Are we still on that? Yeah. Okay. Let's just take a look at that. Whatever it is. The piece of trash that's in a decaying orbit, or that should have decayed, but it won't decay until we focus on it, until we look at it. It's one of those Schrodinger things. It shouldn't be here, but that's because we haven't looked at it. So now that we are looking at this, whatever this is, piece of a, oh, this looks like a piece of a return vessel that actually ended up going back out into space. So if we just time warp this up or down, down, we're going down anyway. We're already in the atmosphere. Perfect. We just time warp this ahead. We can watch it explode. Here, we're gonna get a little heat. And maybe some of the parts will blow up right now. Although this thing looks like it's going slow enough that it's all gonna hit the ground. Yeah, this is the bottom half of a lander, or of a return vessel. But yeah, that's one way to get rid of this trash, is just to focus on it long enough for the game to realize, hey, this is in the atmosphere. It should be crashing. So this is how we're going to get rid of a little bit of trash. Just watch it. Just watch it fall out of space because it's already in a decaying orbit. And unfortunately, I cannot make this go any faster. Here comes the boom, though. Here it comes. Oh, double boom there. Boom, boom. All right. Back to the tracking station. So we need to get rid of those things first. Like anything that's currently going to just fall out of space by itself. Although that might have been the last piece. Although there's a piece. What is that? Let's recover that. That's on the surface. Anything else on the surface? Oh yeah, we got some debris over here too. Recover that. Cover that. There's all kinds of debris over there. Must have been one of those crashes where everything fell apart. Or one of those landings where everything broke apart. God, still more of it there. Look at it all. It's all on the surface though, so that's easy to recover. And that gives us money back too. A little bit. Well, dang, this is going to have our bits of trash way down. Just recovering this pile of trash that was apparently on the surface. Yeah, that was a big pile of trash. Okay, it's all picked up now. Alright, what's this? That looks like it's in a decaying orbit. Wow, that's a whole lot of big stuff. Well, that's going to make some cool booms when it goes through the atmosphere. Well, let's watch it. I have no control over this whatsoever. Okay. We're into the atmosphere. I would assume the engines are going to, go first because of the weight. Although the atmosphere is pretty thin up here, so. Cutting into it now a little bit. With that wobble, we might not actually get any explosions until it smacks into the ground because it's actually wobbling back and forth, distributing that heat pretty good. Although if one thing blows up, then everything's going to start blowing up, I would imagine. That's generally how it works. Oh, it's going back up into space. What? Oh, we're going to have to watch this twice. It's going to go around again. Yep, yeah, now we're gaining altitude again. Wow, it didn't even decay all the way out. That's unexpected. Alright, well, as soon as we get high enough, we can use the time warp to get back around to the atmospheric contact again. Although it looks like it's a very, Is it actually going to go out of the atmosphere? It should. Yeah, it's going to end up going out of the atmosphere. There we go. Now I can use regular time warp to get around the planet a little faster. Whee! I'm warping as fast as it'll let me anyway. Oh, back into the atmospheric contact. Hey, next. How's it going? We are doing some space cleanup right now. We're just watching trash fall out of decaying orbits. So I figured I'd do that first before I actually launched an active trash removal system. And I haven't decided if I'm going to do. I've got two trash removal systems ready to go. One of them is our engineer, which he has a mission to go save a guy from Memnus, but his vessel's a little over engineered right now. I don't have enough secondary missions for him to justify the launch at this point. I want to get in a few more rescue missions before I launch him. So I have another vessel that is just for deorbiting trash. It is its only mission. Unfortunately, it's not something I'm going to make any money off of whatsoever. So it's not something I'm anxious to launch because I'm not going to get anything back for it. You know, and one of the, like I said, the probably the more important objective today is to get some money so we can get our science facility built up a little. And I think we're going to get some booms here in a second. Is it going to actually heat up enough to go boom boom? Is it going to heat it up enough? I would think so. I mean, we're getting into thick atmosphere here. We're definitely not going back out this time. I can check that by I can't even do that. I can't even look at those stats because it doesn't have any kind of control system. Oh, there we're getting a little overheat on the main engine. If that goes, I bet you there'll be a whole bunch more things go. Maybe. Yeah, look at that. Getting super hot. Super hot. Come on. Oh, no, it's not going to do it. Nope. We're just going to smash into the ground fully intact. With unfortunately, this is from the from the program long before I started doing the recoverable stages. So, oh, it's a splash. That was anticlimactic. I thought I was going to actually hit the land. All right, back to the tracking center. Let's see if we can find another one. Let's see. This one looks like it's in decaying, or oh gosh, yes, it's like but it's currently going back up. We'll fly it anyway. We'll watch it. Let's see what happens. It's currently headed out of the atmosphere, though. Although having focus on it might change that. Yep. As soon as we look at it, it's like, oh, I'm burning. As soon as we looked at it, it's like, oh shoot, I'm at a much. I should not be flying. Yep. That changed everything as soon as we looked at it. Like I said, it's the Schrodinger cat problem. It's in orbit until you look at it. Splashes are not booms, no. Well, it's not like I have a lot of control over that. It's just like wherever it lands, it's where it lands. Now let's get the physics warp going here. Oh, it's actually it's trying to get up. You can't go up. You got to go down. No, it's still going up. Go down. Oh no, is it gonna go? Okay, it's about to zaplapse again. Okay, and then it's gonna go down. Now it's going down again. There we go. Burn up. Burn up. I know it's not going to burn up, though. It's going to just slow down until it lands. Oh, it's going to be another splashdown. Dang it. I thought for sure this one was going to hit some land, but... yeah, nope. There's going to be another splash. And splash. Second later. There we go. Poof, gone. Okay. Back to the tracking station. Find another one. See, what happens is, so how those that like, what happens is that we will be very off 50K. Yeah, that's totally gonna. So what happens is when I'm coming back from a mission, and you know that I've got that engine stage on and whatever on the lander vessel, and I use that stage to slow down while we're going through the atmosphere, but then I separate. And what happens is if the vessel gets too far away from the actual landing craft, then it stops being tracked as, you know, as though it's going through the atmosphere, and then it just gets tracked the regular way, which doesn't account for the atmosphere. Let's speed this up. Which doesn't account for the atmosphere, and then yeah, it ends up going into a decaying orbit and staying there until you look at it and watch it actually go through the atmosphere and actually decay that orbit all the way. So otherwise, it just stays in that decaying orbit until you look at it again, or you delete it. Like I could just look at these and go, "Oh, that's in a decaying orbit." I can just delete them. I could totally do that from the tracking station, and that might be a little bit faster, but it doesn't give us the opportunity to watch what happens, and it's fun to watch these things decay their orbit, I think, and it gives me a chance to chit chat with you guys. Oh, is it going back out? It wasn't a kind of pretty eccentric. Yeah, it's going back out. That's okay. I think it'll probably crash on the next orbit. I hope. But this saves me this will let me know what I actually do need to go get as far as trash. As far as like stuff that's not, you know, if it's going to decay itself, I don't need to worry about it, right? Like we don't need to send a vessel to decay it. It's going to just decay by itself. Just need to either let it happen, or like I said, I could like go into the tracking station and just go, oh, hey, that's in a decaying orbit, delete. That's in a decaying orbit, delete. We might do that for a couple more of these pieces. I'm getting a little bored with watching these things orbit. I could also do this off stream too. Like if there's any more of these that are just going to naturally decay, I could just go ahead and let them do their thing off stream. Or like I said, I could just do it from the tracking station. When I see that something is definitely going to decay by itself, there's no reason to, unless you just enjoy it, there's no reason to watch it. Take up all the time, especially on the stream. But we didn't really have anything else going on the stream. This is a junk removal stream, so you know that's what it is. That's what we're doing today. We're just watching things crash. And then when we're done watching things crash by themselves, we're gonna go make things crash. That is at least that's the idea. We're down to like 40 minutes left on the stream. That's plenty of time to get several more pieces of trash out of orbit, I think. Now, hopefully, when I go get some of those other pieces of trash, we're gonna make them crash a little faster. At least that's the goal. Make them crash as fast as possible, honestly. The harder they hit the atmosphere, the more likely they are to burn up before they even hit the surface, too. That's always fun. Like these things, there haven't been very many. Hasn't been very much incineration. And I was thinking, watching these and thinking about my boosters that keep having their engines blow up. I think it's just the mass. Like they have so much mass that they retain their velocity into the deeper portions of the atmosphere, causing more heat to be generated. Oh man, this is gonna go into ocean too, isn't it? I mean, it looks like it could be over the water or over the land, but it's gonna go into ocean. Dang it. Likely. Maybe? Maybe not. Oh, I think we're gonna hit land. I think we're gonna have a proper boom boom. Yes. Slow down the time warp for that even. Oh, maybe when we get closer to the ground. Here goes. Good bloom bloom. Oh, there's a piece left. Is it gonna survive? I don't think so. Ooh, double explosion. Back to the tracking station. Double explosion for you guys. 2 for the price of 1. That makes up for the last one. Okay. I don't see any more obvious pieces of debris. Wait, maybe this one? Yes. Never mind. Fly this. It's already right at the periap, so perfect time to take control of it. Perfect time to watch it because it's right where it should be at its deepest portion of the atmosphere there. So, second we look at it, it's going to start burning. Yep. I don't even remember what this piece is about. What is it called? What was it called? Something? There's a clampetron on it. What? Totally empty of fuel, though. This looks like something I purposely left in a decaying orbit. Probably. And I never finished watching it decay. Okay. Is it gonna go up? Is it gonna go back up? Is that what's happening here? Yes, it's definitely going around again. Definitely gonna go around again. Let's see here. Yeah, we'll just watch this one. We'll watch this one. Now there is a potentially faster way to get this to have, like when I see that it's going up out of the atmosphere, I could just jump back to the tracking station and use the warp there. But it's easier just to wait for it to actually exit the atmosphere, and then I can just use regular warp again. Won't let me go any faster than that. I still think that looks like Africa. One of the default continents on Kerbin. In fact, I could probably look at that here, can't I? Right here. The Kerbin. The Kerbin. Oh, I can't see much there. Oh yeah, like right there. There it is. Africa. But smaller. Neat. How are we doing on a high res scan? Up to 8.1%. Yep, everything's going. We're going to have that totally scanned eventually, I think. I hope. And that's just been happening in the background as we're watching this, which is good. I mean, that at least something is still happening, even though we're just kind of goofing around watching things go boom. There are missions that are being carried out in the background. Yay, it's coming down. Wow, with all this water under me right now. But, oh, yeah, no. Totally gonna hit the land. Totally gonna hit the land. This should be another good boom. So, I'm not sure what I'm going to be doing for this afternoon stream. This would be a great time, since I got a couple of you guys here that do watch, to give me a vote. So, Valheim modded is a possibility. We're just kind of in the middle of that. It would just be, just some Valheim modded content. We don't think we'd have any special thing to do, Option 2, Minecraft. We could go play with Whisperfire on her new Ocean Block server thing. I haven't messed with that at all. So that's option 2. Get the boom out of the way before we talk about option 3. There we go. Option 3 would be for me and the wife to start potentially playing a completely new game. Well, at least new for the channel and for the stream. We have junk or scrap mechanic, which it's actually been out for like a year or something now, with the new the tracking station, with the new survival stuff in. But anyway, that was option 3. So it wouldn't absolutely be scrap mechanic, but option 3 is just like something else. It could also be 7 Days to Die. I'll talk to the wife about it, but something else that's not one of the first 2 options: Valheim or Minecraft. So yeah, 1, 2, or 3 there. There's 3 options. Option 1 was Valheim, random modded content. Option 2 is startup of Minecraft Skyblock or Ocean Block, whatever it's called, some kind of block. And then option 3 is just something else, something new. Make your pick. Take your pick. 1, 2, 3 in the chat, please. Let's see here now. And have I finally gotten all of the decaying orbits taken care of? I feel like I have. Now, this satellite could probably come down, but I think I'm going to leave it as a communications relay. Goodness. All these satellites really need to go because they're just cluttering up the stuff. And okay, so where is the junk now? It says like I have 2 pieces of junk. Mud landing debris. Ugh, I'm not going to be able to get that very easily. And where's the other piece of junk? Mud landing debris. Oh, it's in solar orbit. What? So that apparently got thrown out of the solar system at one point? It had to, because there's no way. There's no way that I put it there. So that must have just got kicked out of the solar system by intersecting with some other orbits. Moon landing debris. I'm so tempted to terminate it. What actually is it? Let's go look at what that actually is. So I've got 1 vote for 3. Thank you, Knock. I appreciate it. It is a freaking. Should I just delete this, guys? It seems like ridiculous to mount a mission just to go collect a freaking 1 piece of debris that apparently I don't even know how this got out here. I don't remember exactly how it got out here, but there's it seems ridiculous to go after just that 1 little piece of debris. Go to the tracking station. Knox says 2 or 3. Okay. I think I kind of remember how that happened too, because I was I was doing some engineer swapping of parts. Oh yeah, because look, there's a Mun landing right here too. That doesn't belong out there. What the heck is that? That's the garbage. That is garbage. There's more garbage out in solar orbit that's gotten kicked out of the immediate system. Ah, yes, yeah. This is where that piece came from. You remember when we did that disastrous Mun thing, and we ended up like breaking the vessel, and we had to send a rescue vessel to get our Kerbonauts back and stuff. Yeah, this is that vessel that got destroyed and ended up getting kicked out of the solar system at some point. that is kind of funny. Oh, this is full of fuel and oxidizer too. That's hilarious. Oh man, it'd be nice to get that cleared at some point. So maybe we will leave our little piece of debris way out there. There's more. There's more garbage than it looks. Like if I go to a tracking station and go, look at the garbage count. It's saying that the debris, there's 2 pieces of debris. Well, no, there's a lot more than 2. All these derelict ships are debris, as far as I'm concerned. All these comsats that didn't really do the job that I wanted them to do when I initially launched them, although they are kind of doing it now. Kind of. Yeah, that's all debris. We also need to look at something else. You know what? Indigo Voyage. If we look at Indigo Voyage, we'll fly it. It hasn't moved very much. But you'll notice that if you recall at the end of the last stream, not last week, but the end of the last stream, since I didn't do one last week. If you recall at the end of the last stream, we left this in a solar orbit. We thought, but we did not actually leave it in a solar orbit. We left it in an orbit of Kerbin that will eventually result in a solar orbit. So it flew out of Kerbin's influence, and then we adjusted its orbit a little bit, and that actually made it fall back into Kerbin's influence. And what's going to end up happening, you can see its periapsis is actually nowhere near falling, nowhere near the atmosphere. What's actually going to happen is it's going to end up going down around the planet and then kind of slingshotting back out of Kerbin's influence. And the reason for that is because of how can I say it? It's the angles. So you see this orbit right here. It's always going to be at this angle, but as Kerbin goes around the sun, so like when Kerbin's over here, that orbit is going to be at a different angle. All right, so it keeps its angle, but it's going to be at a different angle, so it's going to be going this way. So it's actually going to end up causing it to exit the influence of Kerbin because of whatever. But it's not for 38 days. 38 days until it does that. So in that 38 days, we have time to get the science and money potentially to launch the vessel that's going to increase the capabilities of the Indigo Voyage to be able to refuel itself. So we want to make this so that it can refuel itself. It'll be able to land on low gravity, no atmosphere planets really easy and be able to refuel itself. So we probably won't be able to go down to any like heavy gravity planets or anything like that and then take back off. That might not be possible, but we should be able to do anything like I would say maybe we might even be able to take it down to Duna. I don't know. I'm not sure. But that would be the best case scenario, depending on. I mean, we could just like give it a try at some point. potentially, as a simulated mission, do a quick save and attempt to land and take off from Duna. I'm pretty confident it can land on most of the moons. And the beauty of all of that is that we're getting that science. And we see actually we got 63 right here. We can transmit that science right now. Let's see. Something else that I did when I was kind of off camera that I should mention is if we look at our crew. Look at our crew. Scientist 3-star. Scientist 3-star. Engineer 3-star. So I did just come over here and click the level up crew, which allowed the scientists to get higher level of stars, which is now processing our science faster because they're higher tier, higher level. So as our scientists level up, as they travel around the solar system, that science will come in even faster from the lab. Ooh. Oh yeah, there was one other big thing I did off camera that I definitely need to mention. Now that we're talking about things that I did off camera, head back to the Space Center for this. Yeah, we just talked about the Indigo Voyage. We transmitted some science. So yeah, the Indigo Voyage is actually going to take another whip around Kerbin before it actually ends up going back out into a solar orbit again. Which really doesn't. It's fine. Doesn't matter too much. When we get the capabilities, we get the money, we get the vessel ready, we will be able to figure out how to get them to meet up. I'm sure. Even if we've got to bring the Indigo Voyage around the sun once and back into meeting up with Kerbin at another time. But what was I? I was something I was going to tell you guys that was important. I did off camera. Oh. Well, I started working on the Gemini mission. This is not the thing. I started working on the Gemini mission. There it is. I don't have all the parts to complete this mission though, so these are the side boosters that are going to eventually attach to the Indigo Voyage, and they will have there'll be a refinery and ore tank attached to these somehow. I don't know. I haven't figured all out of it yet. This is just kind of an initial concept. So I was able to make 2 tanks that were basically identical that are attached to each other via this docking port. And then I just need to launch that up, split them apart, and then reattach them to the docking ports on the side of the Indigo Voyage. And then I can use that new rotation tool with the ports to make sure that they are perfectly aligned. And then I have a whole bunch of struts that I'm taking up, and the engineer can strut them up, and it'll be good. It'll all be good. But anyway, this is the thing. The thing I wanted to show you though, or that is the base of the future of that. I can't complete it, like I said, until we get the science. But the thing that I did off camera that I needed to explain to you guys about is I changed our thing here. In fact, I leveled up the administration building because I wanted my things to be able to go up to 60%. So now that was able, I canceled the old reputation campaign and redid it. Yeah, mistakes leave memories behind. Yeah. So anyway, I canceled the reputation and redid it so that it now takes 60% of all reputation gains and converts them into money. And then the remaining 40% of reputation gains gets converted into science. So we will no longer gain reputation through doing missions and stuff like that. All of that reputation is now going to permanently be converted into something more useful. So that's basically spending all of our reputation currency. And 60% goes to money and 40% goes to science for now. When we... oh, excuse me. When we eventually complete our science, you know, we're done with the science tree, we'll start taking all of that science and converting that into money as well. And we'll be using that money as a kind of gauge as to our score. So right now we're not doing too bad, but we, like I said, we still got to get that 3.3 million in order to move on there. And yeah, we're unfortunately we're not gonna be able to do that till we clear some more missions. So all that being said, these scans are going to just continue in the background. Unfortunately, we do have that one that is that we're going to have to relaunch, that Eve mission. That's so annoying. Annoying, but that's okay. We're going to plan for that for next week. We'll do 2 scan satellite launches. We'll actually launch to Eve, a dual satellite, and we'll launch to Duna, a dual satellite. That way we can get one in orbit of Duna and one in orbit of Ike, and one in orbit of Eve and one in orbit of Gilly. So that's how we're going to do that next week. But we're not going to worry about that anymore today. Today there is one other mission that we need to worry about, and that is going and getting our guy from orbit of Memnus. And I don't know if we're going to have time to complete this one or not. I might have to push it out a little bit if we do. So if we want to get our guy from Memnus, we need to load the tow package 2. So you guys remember the tow package was a quad mission of rescue. Tow package 2 is also a quad rescue mission, but it's got each one of the 1, 2, 3, and then of course the actual main pod is number 4. 4 separate things that it could rescue, provided there's an engineer. See, these things can't rescue a vessel by themselves. They require an engineer to actually attach the docking ports from here to there. So that's a bit of an issue. If we were only going to go for that one rescue, we don't need these additional 3 satellites. So we could adjust this so that we don't have these additional 3 satellites. Oops. Rip those off. They're not super important, right? And then of course, if we don't have all that, we don't need the extra docking ports. I'll leave 2. Just because I'm gonna need 1 to switch over to the other vessel, and then they're in pairs, so we'll just leave it at that. I don't need all these struts that I had down because it's not that big of a deal. Actually, I will put the struts back in because go 6-way. Because I can secure these things. We'll do that. These little guys. These are debris removal devices. They have 3 little tanks, an engine, just enough stuff to control it and keep in communication and prevent the battery from going dead. So we'll show you how those work here in a little bit. But since we're not going to be doing the rescue of a whole bunch of guys all at once, let's edit this fairing. It doesn't need to be. Oops. Can I like? We do that. There we go. It doesn't need to be quite as big as all that. That'll be a lot better. And it still we can do that one rescue that we really need to do around Memnus with this. And we can still remove 6 pieces of debris. Alright, so this will be our last mission for the day. I don't know if I'm going to get... I'm definitely not going to get all 6 pieces of debris down, but we'll try to get 1 piece of debris down on stream, and then we'll try to get that docking gone, that dock around Memnus done, at least. Okay, so let's... I don't know if I really want to save that because I kind of want to keep it the way it was with the additional things in the save file. This is just going to be tow pack Sign GLE single. And we'll save that. Tow package single, because I might need to use this again. But it's not just a single, it's actually like with additional removable devices. Well, you'll see, guys. You'll see. Let's get this up into orbit. Where we will then release the removal units and let them do their job. Do full throttle. I think we're good as far as staging goes. This also has a recoverable lower stage, like I have been doing on every launch since we started that. Been trying to do that on every. I think I did one that didn't have that. But anyway, let's get this up. Oh, is this right? No. Why do you do this to me every time, Sheridas? I don't need a pilot. I need an engineer. Well, I guess it's a good thing we saved that vessel. Because, we need an engineer, not a pilot. Yeah. Next. Blah, blah. He always is jumping in there. Oops. Close. Back in here. Okay, crew. Not a pilot. Engineer. And really doesn't matter what engineer, as long as they got 1 star. Should be fine. Okay. And was there action groups? I can't remember. I don't think so. There's not really anything to action. Alright, save that and launch it again. Now that we got the engineer in the seat. Jeez. Delays. We don't need delays at this point. So in the interest of keeping things moving, I'm just going to get it up into the orbit as quickly as possible and get on with the mission. So 3, 2, 1, go. Turn SAS on now. That is our engineer. Yes. Okay, we're all good. Maybe. And now that we've got a very small fairing and load, I think we could actually do our gravity turn a lot earlier with this vessel than, say, with like that satellite vessel we sent up earlier. Let's start tipping down now, I think. Be fine. Certainly got enough thrust. Actually, remove some of that thrust. Turn it down just a bit. All right, let's look at our Apple Apps, Periapps stuff here. We're in the thin part of the atmosphere now. And kick our Apple Apps up to about 70, 75-ish. There we go. Good to go. All right, we'll just give ourselves a little. Wow, that's wobbly. Give ourselves a little time warp here. It wiggles its way into space. Well, let's just get rid of that time warp there. Let the Kraken calm down. The Kraken was getting a little excited there. And release the fairing. We're good. Oh, I want to go prograde. Oh, shit. Burn, burn, burn. Go, go, go. Almost waited too long there for this burn. Actually, it's turned out to be just about perfect, though. Should just about put us into orbit with this stage, which is generally what I shoot for. I've been paying a lot more attention to the delta V in each stage so that they run out at the appropriate time. And I'm not wasting fuel that way. Up to 80k apoaps there. I'll let that catch up a little bit again. In fact, I might even have a little bit extra in this fuel bottom stage now since I took those extra bits off the top. It's giving me a little more delta V into orbit here. Almost getting us there. 35, 40, 50, 60. I should even have enough. Yeah, there we go. Fully in orbit. Fully in orbit. Which means that we can go ahead and stage this. Just double check and make sure I'm not going to be doing anything crazy here. Yeah, stage, and we want to control this. We want to spin it. Do retrograde. Oh, we don't actually have any. This is okay. I have a very primitive core in this one, apparently. Oh, come on. Is it going to spin? Do I not? I surely have a SAS unit in there. Oh, it's just so big. It's probably only got like one little SAS. I didn't put an SAS wheel on it. That's a problem. There's no SAS wheel on there. Oh. So it's just a tiny, tiny SAS of that stupid core. Okay. Whoops. So yeah, I always want to. I got to remember to put that SAS unit on that control core thing that I do. We just gotta spin it around, nice and slow, like. Actually, I could use physics warp to make it spin faster. Yes. That works. And now that we are almost retrograde, I'm going to activate the engines a little bit. That's going to give me a lot more control. That should be, yeah, that's bringing us out of orbit easily. Parachutes should already be active. They're active now. They weren't. Let's bring this down. Now, I left a tiny bit of fuel in it this time because I'm thinking that if I get to that point where the engines are about to overheat and then I hit that last little burst of fuel, presuming I have control of the vessel at that point, I hit that last little burst of fuel, then it should, in theory, stop it from blowing up. You know, slow it down just enough to prevent that overheat. At least that's what I'm thinking anyway. Now I just gotta try to stay retrograde. That's going to be very difficult with no real SAS. Actually, it's not going to be that hard. The engines will do most of that work for me. Oh, come on, come on, come on, come on. I'm trying to stop this rotation, but it doesn't want to stop. Let's keep going. Yeah, I'm just gonna let it do what it wants to do because that's what it's gonna do. I don't really have too much control. I mean, like I said, that tiny little SAS isn't gonna do very much. And hopefully I will still have control over it when I need it at that moment of heat, which I probably won't because I think I have blackouts on, plasma blackouts on. Oh yeah, look, it's already losing control. I figure I might as well hit that right then when I still had the control. Hopefully that'll slow it down enough that it won't blow up. Find out here in a second. I'm gonna slow it down like when it gets to the time warp a little bit. I think that has a lot to do with the why the engines might explode because that rounding of the calculations. Can I make it rotate? Spin? Any king? Can I do anything? No, not really. Not without a much more powerful SAS unit. And, well, at least I am maintaining control, surprisingly. Oh, no, one of them's going to blow up. One of them's going to blow up. No, don't do it. Don't do it. Ah, no, no, no. Oh, so close. Oh, no, 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 no. I'm watching these overheats over here. Oh, there goes one. Oh, no, there goes another one. Two. Okay. And then now that we don't have those two engines, the weight to air resistance is enough that the other ones will, survive. I got to figure out how to save those last two engines. So maybe it's a matter of having like an air brake on it or something. Air brake would probably be the thing, I bet. Switch this over to distance to the land. I think this is one I also actually greatly decreased the altitude at which the parachutes deploy, which is nice. Because they don't actually deploy until they're like much closer to the surface of the, which means we don't gotta, watch it fall as long. It's something I need to remember to do more often. Yeah, it looks like it's gonna fall on a nice level area. Yep. And be recovered. So yeah, I just gotta figure out some way to save those last two engines from that heat explosion. It's just that and I've been using that particular recoverable stage pretty regularly in most of my vessels, so it'd be a good idea to develop it a little bit further. Up to 240 science, though. Oh, hey, you know what? We do have a couple things we could unlock. Composites are probably the next one I want to unlock anyway. Is it? One of these, I think it was. Maybe it wasn't. Nothing special. Yeah, but these are the last ones that I can possibly unlock before we have to upgrade to things to get all these top tier stuff. And that top tier stuff is where the refueling stuff is at. So that's a big goal. That's the big goal of the series right now, is to get that refueling stuff available so that we can send the Gemini up and hook up with the Voyage, the Indigo Voyage, so that it can travel on to explore the solar system. Till then, we're kind of in a bit of a holding pattern with the Indigo Voyage. It's going to orbit Kerbin or be in a solar orbit near Kerbin so that it doesn't get too far away, so that an eventual mission will be able to join up with it. Okay. Oh goodness. Oh yeah. Back to, now that stage is down. Back to the mission at hand. Hey, Twitchy. You're a little late. We're getting close to the end here. We've been cleaning up stuff. We watched a whole bunch of debris fall out of orbit that was in decaying orbits, so there's that. We launched some satellites that are going to be better at scanning. In fact, I will show you that satellite. Where's it at? Not PolarSat. Why is it not showing up here? Huh? Oh, because I gotta scroll down. It should be, as I say, it should be down at the bottom of the list. It is right here. Is this one? Yeah, that's the one. Fly that one. You might actually be interested in this one, Twitchy. So, because you have this mod as well. In fact, I have this mod because you recommended it, and I've been actually enjoying the additional missions. But here is our new, fully decked out scanning satellite that has absolutely the best scanning technology that we have, including the vanilla scanner and a couple other vanilla stuff, and the vanilla infrared telescope. So this is a little bit of a total science satellite, you know. And if you missed it earlier, so there's a difference in the height at which certain scans can happen. This high resolution altimetry scanner needs to be at like 700,000. Most of the other ones need to be between 180, or they like to be at that, you know, lower altitude. Most of them. So what I've done is I've actually put my satellite in a polar elliptical orbit where it goes down to 100 on one side and up to 700 on the other side, so that it goes through the whole range. So it should eventually be able to get all of the scans done. We look at Kerbal. Yes, you can see that some of the scans have happened. What are we looking at there? High res altitude. Yeah, we're looking at map type altimetry. Yeah, we're looking at the altimetry. So the colored stuff is the high resolution altimetry, I assume, and the black and white stuff is the low resolution. Nice. And then we can look at like slope. Interesting. Because we got, I mean, wouldn't that be altimetry as well? What's this? Biome. Yeah, we can see all the stuff now. Yeah, scanning is happening. Oh, interesting. Oh, I'm looking at that thing kind of through this. That's hilarious. Oh, what is all that? I don't even know what this one does. This is like where I'm directly over top of right now, I guess. Anyway. Yeah, but this this satellite is totally stacked. And it has enough solar panels to hopefully operate all the way out to Joel. Hopefully. So hopefully I can send the same satellite base to all of the planets and moons, one around each. That's the goal eventually, is to have one around each, with all of the scanning. So, but yeah, that's that. It is doing its thing. So we are slowly working on getting all of our missions completed here. And that high-low altitude thing does seem to be working. So that was one of the things I was concerned about, whether that was going to work or not. Of course, around Kerbal, the only thing I have left is high resolution. Oh, I've got the high vis too. Anomaly and resolution low and resolution high. Oh, resource scans. So those are happening. And it might take a little longer with that elliptical orbit because they're only working when they're in their range. So eventually I may have to lower its orbit down to that lower orbit. But I wanted to get the high resolution altimetry scan out of the way before I did that. Anyway, that's that. That's all that. I was done talking about that. Back to Space Center. What are we doing? Oh, yeah. But the other thing we've been trying to do is get garbage out of the, as much garbage down as we possibly can. So, back to In fact, I should have just jumped straight over to the vessel. Didn't need to go back to the space station to do this. Our last tow package. Fly it. Okay. Which is kind of ideal here. This is what I think it is. We want to do perfect. Actually, yeah. Okay, so if we look in the low Kerbal orbit that we are currently in, that's kind of too low. Let's warp around to the apoapse and bring it up just a hair, because I don't want to be that close to the atmosphere. See, over here I'm at 90, which is, not too bad. And then I want to go prograde. I want to raise the periapse up to about 80. About 80. There we go, 80. Perfect. Okay. And the reason I wanted to do that is because I'm about to perform a maneuver. I'm going to go radial out. I'm about to perform a maneuver that is going to release all of these little grabbers, all of our little deorbiters. So that should just be stage. There we go. And because of their very, very light amount of power that I left in those decouplers, they should drift off very slightly, which is what they're doing right now. Before I go on to complete the rest of this vessel's actual mission, I wanted to leave those in an orbit that was similar to all of these little capsule debris things that are in low Kerbal orbit. So those I will be able to use to go get those other little vessels that are left in orbit there. And eventually, in fact, let's just push out away from those guys. Go prograde. What we need to do is this needs to go to Mimnus now. Mimnus set as target. Oh, that sucks. If I went right this second for it, it would be like, it would end up being at the most inclination change that it could possibly be. So what I think I will do is add a maneuver here. Go up. Ooh, what was that? That was a Mun encounter there. Where was that at? Oh. That could be useful. That could be useful. Is that a collision now? No, it's a collision with the Mun. Yeah, a lot of times I like to do Mun assist if I can, but I think I'm just going to skip it this time. We don't need to be super super precise. Now, the problem with that is that's going to be the closest approach. Okay, so what if I go like way up? How high up can I go? See, that I know that that's actually going to get me an encounter, but it's not showing it. Come on, give me that maneuver node. Too much. Ugh. This is the other problem when you have too much junk. What was that? What is that? Indigo. Oh, it's the Indigo Voyage. Okay. That's fine. There we go. Finally got the maneuver in. See, the problem with that is when you there we go, maneuver. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I had it. It's right there. Oh. Hey, there's a periapse. Yeah, we can work with that. We'll do that, and we can do this. We can do this. Yes. Warp to that maneuver. Stability here. Warp to that maneuver. Yeah, we can do this. Well, there's all of our little capture devices over there. As we swing back through them, they spread out a little bit. Oh, can we get on the maneuver, please? Ish. Okay, it says 30-second burn. So we need to go down to about T minus 15. 33-second burn. T minus 17 is what we want to start our burn at. And go. Now, when I get close to the end of this maneuver, I want to cancel the maneuver and then just go look at Mimnus and see if I can't get that intercept. Okay, cancel that. Open that. Oh yeah, we got a long way to go. Okay, we're already focused on Mimnus. I just kind of got to watch it. The second I see that orbit or that approach, I need to stop my engines. And this is where it gets a little confused. Doesn't know where I'm actually encountering it, I guess. Did I go too far? Oh. Oh. Had it there for a second. Oh, this is going to be one of those need precision. Okay, where is it saying we're encountering it? I don't know. I think we just passed through it again. Dang it, I can't tell. I hate it when it does this. I hate it when what's Twitch saying? Twitch is not saying anything. I was hoping maybe he had a suggestion for why this isn't working the way I think it should. Um, no, I do need prograde. I'm making it worse. I think I passed the point where I needed to. Okay. So I would be there. That would mean I'm too. Okay. Okay, that should be an encounter. Right there. Maybe I need to just go around a little bit. Warp to here. I mean, worst case scenario. What is the worst case scenario here? I miss, and I have to go around again. It's still with the doesn't know whether I'm going to encounter it or not. It's still blinky. Oh, something just happened there. Well, that's my next orbit because our periaps is too low. Or did I just intercept the moon? No, not just. I would if I go around. Okay. Yeah, I'm not seeing how to do this. Okay, maybe if I add a maneuver here. Aha! Kill that. Kill that. Let's put the maneuver right there. Add the maneuver. Okay, well that shows that I'm actually currently going to be going to Mimnus. Okay, that's perfect. And then if I do some adjustment here, that's actually good. Because I want to be coming in. Yeah, that's good. And then, okay, would retrograde? No. I want to be kind of close to the orbit of the guy that I'm trying to save. That's actually pretty good. Right there. That's actually very good. In fact, I come down just a little bit, back in just a hair. Perfect. I'd be crossing right through his orbit. Perfect. Okay, so that's the maneuver, and it's just a tiny bit of maneuver. Okay, perfect. We might be able to do this. We might be able to do this. Let us put stability back on and warp to the maneuver. We'll kind of get an idea whether this is going to work or not. Yeah, because I'm going to spend a lot of time up above the orbit of Mimnus, which gives it a chance to catch up. Yeah. See it coming around fast now, it looks like. And all this time that's passing is allowing our scans to happen as well, too, so that's always good. Yeah, I wish I understood why I did that and how to avoid having that, or how to fix it when it does happen. Would be great, but now we can just kind of watch. We already have that as our intersection right now, so we just kind of watch this as we bring it right into where we want it to go. Yeah. Oh. I accidentally hit the wrong key there and messed everything up. But fortunately, I still have the maneuver dot, which should allow me to fix it. Let's follow the maneuver dot until we're there. Perfect. Fixed it. Oh, okay. I made me nervous for a second there. Everything's good here, though. I think it would be okay to warp to about here. Another 8 days. So doing this mission, right, that we're doing right now, this rescue mission, should clear 2 of our missions, which will allow us to grab 2 more scanning missions, basically, is the real goal here. Let's warp to here, go retrograde when we get there. What is that little dot over there? Is that a scanning satellite? What is that? Maybe that's a planet in the far distance. Probably a planet in the far distance. Oh, you know what I didn't do? I didn't undo my thrust limit. There we go. That's better. Get the job done a little quicker there. Oop. Careful. All right, set this as my target. Okay, that's good. We're at this, almost at the ascending node there. Add a maneuver. This way? No, the other way. So normal. All right, just kill the maneuver. I'm gonna go normal, and then I'm gonna go warp to here. And we're gonna fix that inclination right now, so that we can figure out what we need to do as far as the rest of the meetup. That's pretty good. That's pretty good indeed. So now, add a maneuver. Behind us, yes, okay. Actually, kill that. Let's put a maneuver in front of us. Add a maneuver. So the next time we come around, maybe we can go ahead and just, yep, get that intersection right there. 0.4 kilometers. Jeez, let's do that. Let's just do that. Prograde. Pretty much. And then what I'm going to do is just going to kill the maneuver now. And I'm just going to go back to thrust limitations, because we want to be precise. Okay, and then we want to just bring those purple, bring that purple intersection as close as possible. Oh yeah, this is very, even with the 20% limitation, it's still very sensitive here. Ooh, 0.3. We'll take it. 0.3. That's 300 meters away. So that should make our interception pretty easy. Okay, and then we can just go ahead and warp right up to it. Zoop. And there we go. All right. Now we can go target retrograde. Come in for the last little. Oh, we're actually moving very, very slowly compared to the target. That's good. Let's just do a little warp up till we're very close here, so we can match that speed and then get our intersection going on. Or interception. Not intersection, interception. A little closer yet, a little closer yet. Get it down to about 1K, then I'll do the precision maneuvers. Let's see here, let's see if we can start to push our interception a little bit. There we go. Back to retrograde. That should be putting us very close to colliding if I look. Yeah, 0. Yeah. Collision imminent if I don't slow down in time. Which I should be able to do, no problem. Hopefully. Now I'm hoping that there's already a docking port on this and that, you know, there's going to be an easy way to bring it back, but I'm prepared either way. I'm prepared either. I got the stuff for both, for whatever we need to do to get this, to bring this, the vessel and the Kerbin in it with us back to Kerbal. That's the goal. Still feel like I'm moving really slow towards it. But I don't want to go too fast. Speed up a little bit. Okay, we're drifting off a little. That's good. We're not gonna directly collide with it. That's why it's good. All right, let's just bring that speed down to nothing now, because we're right there. Target speed. Okay, 0. All right, now face the target. I think we are very close to it. I can't really see what's going on over there. I'm going to look at it a little closer here in just a second. Get that to there, though. And then I'm going to switch over to it. See what we got. Oh, man, that's a big piece of junk that I got to bring back with me. How would be best to put the port? I think it'd be best to put the port on that crew hatch if I'm going to do that. Okay, so switch back over to here. We are getting just a little closer as time goes, which is good. Why am I not thrusting? I am okay. Am I out of control? Oh, we're time warping. That's why. Like, why are these keys not working? Okay, because we were time warping a little bit. But now I want to go just barely drift towards it now, because we need to get really close so we can do our engineering maneuver, which is to put that docking port on it. That should be good. All right, let's drift a little closer. All right, are we almost close enough? Almost. We'll go ahead and EVA and get prepared here. I think we are going to be able to get a docking port on it. Hopefully, yeah, I'll be able to get it on the right side. I don't know. Still pretty far away. Not ready yet. Gonna get closer yet? We are moving straight forward, right? Yeah. It's gonna get there. I just gotta be patient. Just gotta be a little patient. Seriously tempted to put the docking port on this side, but I feel like it needs to be on that short side. How am I gonna get that on there? I need to rotate this way and then that way. Oh, I've got some targets appearing now. I think I got it on there. Is it right side up? Yeah, that's better. Now put it on the actual node. That should keep it from what's the word I'm looking for? That should keep it from I'm getting bored now. From burning up in the atmosphere when it goes back down. It should keep the heat shield appropriately oriented, or I need to get kind of slip past it because it doesn't have any maneuvering thrusters or anything like that. So I kind of need to go past it. I'm going to set that as my target. Just use warp to get past it. Not actually going to intersect with the thing, is it? Doesn't look like it. Okay. Don't want to bump it. Don't bump it. Go the other way. I do this right, I should be able to just about. Oh, am I too late? Oh, yep, too late. Didn't quite swing it in there fast enough to do what I was hoping for, which was to get the magnets to attract each other and connect. Oh, now we're headed back towards it again. Need to face it. Keep the dots in the middle, and hopefully the magnets will take over in a second. Come on. Aha! Yes, they did. Come on. There we go. Got him. All right, we've captured Hadzone and his craft. Now it is time to get back to Kerbin. All right, let's figure this one out. Back to Kerbin. We need something about right here. Add a maneuver. Go this way. Not retrograde. Let's go prograde. Even. This. Something like that. What? Yeah. Perfect. Okay, there we go. That's where we make our maneuver. What would that be? Probably prograde when we get there. Let's just warp to that maneuver. Oh, it's behind us. Okay. It's fine. We're going to have plenty of fuel left over after this one too, I think. Jeez, long warp. That's the orbit I'm going to end up in. That's fine. Ooh, wobbly. Oh, thrust limiter. That's good enough. There we go. Now we're out into a Kerbal orbit. Warp to there. Whoa. Okay, we're away from the Mimnus now. Good. Now we just need to do retrograde and drop our periaps down to an atmospheric interception. Going. Almost there. 66. 53. There we go. 53. That should be a pretty good altitude to come screaming in at. And we got tons of fuel, so when we do hit that atmosphere, we're going to start burning and cancel out our orbit. I think we're good to go. I am going to do a quick save at this point, just in case something stupid happens. All right, let's warp into the atmosphere. Maximum warp. Oop, here it comes. And we're still set for retrograde. Perfect. I think we're about ready to fire the engines. All right, we're going to burn out the rest of this fuel. Whoa, what the... Don't do that. Activated the time warp there. That was bad. The Kraken almost bit. Kraken almost got me. There we go. It's still kind of there's no struts here. That's the problem. I probably could have reused these struts that are attached. The engineer could have went out and done that. Okay. Stage. Stage. There we go. Oh, that was some cool explosions. Did you guys catch that? That was some really cool explosions. All right, we're out of orbit. We're definitely landing. Do, 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 do. I mean, I really wanted to use physics warp, but that did not go over last time I hit that button. Did not go over well. All right. I think we're okay with 2x. I think we're okay with 3x. Can we do 4? Yes, barely. Let's remove that. There we go. Okay. Parachutes are activated. Now, theoretically, I might not need to drop that engine. Theoretically. Although, I would slow down faster if I did. Maybe. Oh, there it goes. That'll blow up. That'll go boom boom. Ooh, I hope I have enough parachutes for this big old honking piece of stuff. No, I do have a crumple zone at least. What's this that it's saying I could do? EVA reports. No, thank you. Oh, here's the big question. It's oh, there was a little. Well, I missed where it actually hit. It blew up. I heard it. 7 point. Okay, no, we'll be okay. We'll be okay. All right, we'll get this mission. Oh no, did it complete our missions? Oh yeah, look at all these missions that we have complete now. Ah, some of our scans have completed in the time that it took to do all this. Nice. Ooh, quite a few of them actually. Slow down, get ready to recover the vessel. Oh, tip, tip. No, don't blow up. Okay, good. Didn't blow up when it fell over. I was a little concerned there for half a second. Okay, that should complete a bunch of missions. Well, I mean 2, but there's also that have a bunch of those scanning missions that have been completed while we were doing this, which is exactly what I was hoping. Next. Ooh, we are over 2 million. Yay! And that, nope, new missions, new ribbons, docking, first dock on Mimus. Nice. Okay. Significant contract completed. Nice. All kinds of rewards there. Very nice. Wait, what am I doing in here? Ew. That's not the building I meant to click on. Whoops. The building I meant to click on. Well, okay, so we still have those deorbiter little deorbiter devices to go and mess around with before we wrap the stream up today. Although we are, geez, 40 minutes over. Wow. Thanks, guys, for hanging out. If you're still hanging out, if you haven't hit that like button by now, yeah, maybe you should think about that. Wow, look at all that. How's this one still active? We docked we docked 2 vessels around Memnus. How is that not complete? Urgh. We docked 2 vessels around. We totally docked 2 vessels. Dang it. Maybe it didn't count that other one as a vessel because it was because it didn't have all of the parts a vessel would normally have. Okay, well, we still got that one to do. Anyway, we're down to 2 active missions, which means we need to take a bunch more active. We need to activate some more missions. So science data from surface of the moon, from surface of Mimnus. I don't think we have any surface things on either of those right at the moment. No. So what else can we do? Position a satellite in a specific orbit of Kerbin. Detect 2 comets with a Sentinel infrared telescope. I think I'm going to accept that one because we have the telescopes now. Okay. Build a new orbital station around Kerbin. Blah, blah, blah. Let's do some more scans. Pick up some more scan stuff. Now we got Mimnus to scan. Mimnus, and Mimnus. So what are we at? 6 of 7. 6 of 7. We can take one more. And this is going to be for next week. We're just figuring this out. What we want to do for next week's mission. Attach a new part in a satellite in orbit of Kerbin, or position a satellite in a specific orbit of Kerbin, or science data from the surface of Mimnus. Science data. Build a new orbital station. Those are new orbital build. Okay, so that's the problem with this is I had to actually build a new one. I couldn't just reuse the one that I got up there. So I don't know if I want to do all that. Gilly. Let's plan on sending that repair. We'll plan on sending the satellite to Eve to fix the problem that we created today. We'll do that next week. But then we'll also send 2 satellites, one to go around Gilly and one to go around Eve as well. So we'll plan on that for next week, though. Okay, then one last thing that I want to do before we complete this mission is I want to use one of these little deorbiter things to show you how they work. Which is to say that they, or just to show you that they do work, really. Tow package probe. What's this debris? Oh, I know what that is. That's that piece. Remember how I talked about how things fly off and they get too far away and then they end up in a decaying orbit? That's another piece of debris in a decaying orbit. We're not going to do that right now. I'm going to just grab one of the tow package probes here that will go and deorbit one of the pieces of junk in orbit here. Mainly, I just want to do this on stream just so you guys can see how it is meant to work. There we are. We've got one of these guys. We're just going to call that as our target. Set that as target. Okay, and then we can just go retrograde. We do need to activate the engine here, I think. Why is activate engine. Not from target orbit. Prograde. We wanted to bring these 2 together right here. .8, 1.5, 1.5. Nice thing I like about these is they will allow me to easily and quickly adjust the orbit because they are such a powerful SAS compared to the weight of the vehicle. I think that's about as good as we're going to get right there until we come around. And now I can just warp to here. Hopefully we won't have any issues with communications or batteries draining on these things. Hopefully I've taken that stuff into account. Now there should be a button that lets me arm the we want to go target now, retrograde. target. Okay, yeah. So button 1 does indeed arm and disarm the grabber. Okay, cool, cool. That's cool. Now we just need to basically ram ourselves into this thing, grab it, and then deorbit it. Not at 13 meters per second though, so we probably want to get ready to slow down. I think we need to grab it like somewhere between 1 and 2 meters per second, or close to that. Use a little time warp here to try to get a little closer yet. And I probably could do some minor adjustments to our trajectory using the twitchy method of intercepting there by pushing that closer to the thing there. That's kind of where I learned about. That's where I learned about it anyway. On that method there, where you push the anti or the retrograde reticle on top of the target itself. We're getting really close. Very close here. 70, 50. Let's slow down. That worked out pretty good. Okay, and then we look at the target. Arm our grabber. Target. And get some slight speed going there. Hopefully that's enough. Let's find out. That might not be enough. Nope, nope. Got it. We got it. Okay. Now we can go orbit. SAS, turn SAS back on. Retrograde. Why? Okay, no. Got to do the fly from here. Control from here. There we go. That's better. And now we just retrograde this, let it burn, and let it deorbit. There we go. We are definitely deorbiting it. All right, guys. So that's the premise of these little deorbiter things. I've got a couple more of them up in orbit. I've got enough to deal with 5 more objects. So I'm going to remove 5 more objects. I'm going to do that off stream. I'm not going to bore you guys with all of that. You've seen it happen once. It's going to be the same way each time. In fact, we can even physics warp this so that we can kind of see it play out. This has a lot of fuel for what it needs to do, because it was actually designed. These little remover things are actually designed to get things from low and high and eccentric orbits of Kerbin. So that is why they have that amount of fuel, because they can go up. They should be able to go up and get these guys, all these sat relays. Of course, if I was going for the sat relays, I would have taken the initial ship. I would have taken the initial ship all the way up to. It's coming like straight down to that higher altitude orbit before I released them. Just to make it a little closer or whatever. But looks like we're gonna have a splashdown for our final garbage removal. But yeah, there's 5 more of these in orbit. That'll get me 5 more things out of orbit. I'm gonna go ahead and do that off camera between now and the next stream. But next stream, we've got communication satellites to launch. We've got science to gain, and lots of money that we still need to earn in order to upgrade our science station. Go. Station, I guess. Oh, there's one other thing I probably want to do before the end of the stream, which is to go out, take one last look at the Indigo Voyage, because I'm not sure how far it got in all that, because that series of missions and stuff did allow us to get all the scanning done. Where is Indigo Voyage? There it is, all the way back out here again. Oh, it's almost ready to leave orbit again. Ooh, back out into a solar orbit. Very, very close. Fly it. Because all those days that we took to do those missions and stuff, that was enough time for the Indigo Voyage to go ahead and come down, go around Kerbin, and go back up, and is about to leave Kerbin's influence again. So that would have been more than enough time, I bet, to completely stock up on science points. Look at all that. Look at that. Transmit that science. There we go. Look at all that go. We should have enough battery for transmitting all that science, I hope. Yes, we do. Plus we're recharging at the same time. Although not very well because we're not really facing the sun at the moment. Yeah, these ones are. They're facing well enough. These two might not be getting any power right now. They might be in the shade. Considered in the shade? I don't know. It doesn't matter. We're going to have more enough power to transmit our full 473 science data, or science points, back. And then I will be able to load a little more data into the science lab so that can continue to process. And you can use time warp here to increase this, to make this happen a little faster. There we go. 473 science added. Nice. Okay. And then I'm going to go ahead and review the data and just throw in a few more, whatever will fit in the lab. A bunch of it's not, obviously, and it will just stay there ready for the next time that we run low on data. So there we go. Full back on data again. Back to 14 science per day. I don't think any of these guys would have leveled up. No, we're good. Okay, guys. Again, thanks for hanging out with us. Come back next week where we continue. Basically, this is the main thing for the rest of the mission, the Indigo Voyage. We got to get this thing built up to the point where it can land on all the moons and go around space and do all the exploration. This is our exploration vehicle for the rest of the series, I believe. I'm really happy with this guy. It looks good. It's going to look really good when I get those 2 extra bits on the side, I think, and it's going to be capable. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Come back in a little bit. Again, if you haven't voted for what we're going to be doing in the afternoon, go ahead and do that. 1, 2, or 3. If you forget what those were, number 1 is Valheim. Number 2 is some Minecraft Ocean Block on Whisperfire server. Or number 3 is just something else. You don't want to see either of those. You want to see something else. So go ahead. Don't forget to leave that vote in the comments. I will check them again in an hour or so after I've had some food in real life. See what the wife wants to do. So thanks, guys, for watching. And until next time, I will catch you later.